Jalen, NBA All-Star voting has officially closed. You have a vote. And so this morning, we are going to exclusively reveal Jalen's voting, your ballots. Okay. And we're going to do the East here. We'll do the West coming up the East. Maria and I were just noticing the options are interesting. Which way did we go?
So you're going to see a lot of talking heads talking about the NBA All-Star ballots and the late season awards, but most of those people don't vote.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. I actually do. And what they have you do is pick 2 backcourt members and 3 front courts. Sorry, Sinners. They eliminated you guys from the ballot, literally. With that being said, best guard in the East, clearly one of the best guards in the game. You just broke him down, Kyrie Irving. He's been terrific this year for the Boston Celtics, not only getting his own shot, which we've seen him do at the highest level, NBA Finals, and be a champion, but also has improved his passing. His defense, as you mentioned, also he had 8 steals yesterday, and that's what leadership is. He got put into a turnkey situation that was really talented. Best organization, best GM, best coach, plethora of young talent. Made it to the conference finals without him. Now he's integrated himself and has become the leader of that team. Next up.
Okay, that's the one I was waiting to see. I wanted to see what other guard you would go with. Okay.
The one thing I got to make sure that I always do is not only reward winning, but also reward guys that when I have the remote control in my hand on a nightly basis, they're out there doing work. And they look like they're putting on an all-star performance. We don't talk a lot about Charlotte, but we should talk a lot about Kemba because he's going to be a free agent this offseason, by the way, and he can make clutch shots. He's led that basketball team, doesn't have much help around him, but he continues to put in a lot of work. Small forward, no question about it. Kawhi Leonard. Talk about joining a team that was the #1 seed in the Toronto Raptors last year. Here's a guy that was already acclaimed as one of the top 2 or 3 players in the league. Career highs in points, rebounds, and steals for the Claw. And so for a guy that's going to be a free agent this offseason, it almost seems really tough to walk away from a situation in Toronto where he's having so much success. Next up, the Greek Freak. He does everything for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's going to be a part of the MVP conversation. He's going to lead that team in all major statistical categories. He's been outstanding on both ends of the floor. And the thing I appreciate about the coaching that he's getting, depending on the lineup, he could be guarding a point guard. He could be guarding a center. So many times that I've played basketball and heard people announce basketball and they say, this guy can play 5 positions. It has not been true until this guy came on the scene. He's been that dynamic. And last but not least, Joel Embiid. You can almost pencil this guy in for 30 points and 10 rebounds on a nightly basis. He's a throwback because based on his body type, he can still score on the post, he can turn over both shoulders, he can face up, and then he can go mid-range. And then he can shoot the 3 as well. He'll block shots on the other end of the floor. We know about his dynamic personality, but that used to overshadow what he did on the floor. Now the most important thing that he does is actually be a productive player for the Philadelphia 76ers.
I love that we get a live look into your ballot, but I do have one question. Who of your starters could start on the West?
Could start on the West?
Maria and I were looking
we were
over
really
the
trying to
screen
decide.
So
Giannis, right?
So up front, if you think about it, so this is where you got to reward winning. So that would be LeBron, that would be KD, and Anthony Davis. So if I had to split hairs, I probably would take Greek Freak over AD because his team is performing a lot better.